Oh my... The skirt is detachable. A horse? A horse? But right now, it just seems to be like weird degeneracy.
Based off of a philosophical disagreement.
This is how I fear that I sound sometimes. This is how I worry that I sound. I was suspicious because I saw initially in the video clips of Adam from Your Movie Sucks on the Ian and Anissa podcast. I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh my god, I can't believe that Adam was on Anissa's husband's podcast or whatever the fuck. And so I feel as though a lot of this is perhaps wrapped in around other dramas at the same time. So I don't know what's fucking motivated this, but anyway, yeah, let's have a gander.
Around 2017, he became more open about the fact that he's a furry, or a fur fag, as he likes to call it.
I can't really call this common knowledge, but anyway, I'm not joking. I'm a gigantic fur fag. I go to the conventions.
So's
I
Andrew.
masturbate
Oh,
to
brothers.
furry pornography or whatever.
Okay.
And so just the fact that
Really?
I can't even get a boner without thinking of half animal, half human cartoon.
Yo, we don't need to know this, bro. We don't need to know this, bro. We don't need to know this, dude. I don't want to know this. I don't want to know this. Listen, if you've got some kind of like paraphilia, you've got some kind of like unique sexuality, that's great. That's great for you. That's great for you. I love that for you, okay? You've found a way to express your love, your life, your sexuality in your unique way, and that's beautiful. But please don't ever fucking tell me about it, dude. I don't want to know, man. I don't want to care. I don't care. I don't care. The only thing you can get a boner to is half animal, half human. How do you have relationships? This is the kind of question that I don't want to have to ask. This is the kind of question that I don't want to know the fucking answer to. How do you have relationships? Do you have to like have a fucking VR headset all the time? Like watching fucking Zootopia? How does that work? I don't want to know, and yet I'm morbidly curious.
That's pretty fucking weird on its own. So I mean,
Is this a joke or are you?
it's not a joke.
Like,
I know that my sarcastic voice sounds like my serious voice. When I say I'm a fur fag,
The official podcast, that's the one. Yeah.
I'm not even just referencing the joke of what people call furries. I mean, like, I'm super fucking gay too.
Oh,
and I know my
SWAT
voice.
cats, then.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what SWAT cats was.
Please leave.
Adam claims he's sexually attracted to male furries, and has a history of going to furry conventions. In fact, his iconic profile picture is a cropped image of him next to whatever the fuck this is. This was taken at Rainforest 2012, and if that name sounds familiar, you've most likely seen this internet historian video. Rainforest became infamous after his 2015 convention due to the degeneracy of all of the attendees. Multiple sexual assaults were reported, furries were illegally hotboxing in their rooms, a flood was started due to someone loosening a toilet's bolts, 2,000 nitrous oxide canisters were found in the stairwell, and used diapers were being left on people's cars. Adam went to Rainforest 2015, claiming that none of that actually happened. He quickly corrects himself by saying it did happen, but it was all done by a small minority of people.
What people don't realize is that, like, a lot of the shit that people think the convention got banned for is not what it actually got banned for. Half of the shit that appeared online, the like, ooh, people were leaving diapers in the stairwells and diapers on cars and shit, like, that didn't actually happen, and it was just one guy.
That was
and you
not
can
a
trace,
thing.
It was literally, you can trace it back to one Twitter account.
Either way, all future Rainforest conventions were
I mean, that's probably true, right? Like, the kind of documentation that happens over, like, Rainforest or a lot of these, like, conventions, it's got to be, like, one or two, like, twisted, sexual, like, deviant freaks who attend the convention just to, like, thinking they're at home, thinking they're in, like, a wretched kingdom with a bunch of other degenerates, and they can, like, do whatever the fuck, and they can, like, let their freak flag fly. Freak flag fly. Freak flag fly, and everyone else will just let them do it. No, actually. No, it's not okay for you to, like, shit on cars. Actually, no, that's bad.
were cancelled due to these incidents. In 2022, Adam would show off his fursona, a feminine horse. Vosh is popping
Horse. Horse. Say hello to Adam. This pretty pony is making his debut at BLFC this weekend. Oh my... The skirt is detachable. The skirt is detachable. The skirt is detachable, dude. A horse? A horse? A horse? But it's a horse with, like, seemingly stockings and a skirt. So is it his debut? Because Adam is a man? It's got...
22, Adam would show off his fursona, a feminine horse. Vosh is popping an insane boner right now.
It's a femboy horse. It's a femboy horse. It's a femboy horse. Okay. Okay. I can get that. I can get that. Okay.
He posts a series of photos in this suit, along with porn.
Hold on. We might have the answer.
An insane boner right now. He posts a
Oh, that's just the tail, isn't it? That's just the tail. Yeah, never mind.
series of photos in this suit, along with porn where he's having sex with big black bulls. I'm obviously not going to show any of this. What I will show you is this infamous tweet from April 2018. It reads, "To all of the people out there that think illustrated and/or fictional porn depicting illegal activity should be illegal, why do you not apply the same logic to films and literature depicting acts of murder?
Okay.
I don't see how it's different from an ethical standpoint. It's purposely vague, but it's clear to me and many others that this is a defense of lolicon and shotacon. If you don't know what that is, it's sexual drawings of children. If this sounds like a reach, a lot of the top comments are making defenses of this stuff, and it becomes clear once additional context is added. Only a few days earlier, a massive drama erupted on Furry Twitter due to someone named Tacklebox being exposed for allegedly enjoying cub porn. Most furries called this out, but I guess Adam had to vague post, downplaying what happened here.
Alright. I'm so angry because I keep seeing artists I admired go like DL. Go like DL? Go like DL. With being into really fucked up kinks like cub and bestiality, and I'm high-key fucking done. Oh, go like down low, okay. I see y'all following Tacklebox's AD/cub account. I'm so disgusted. 67 likes.
Most furries called this out, but I guess
Down low. Down low, yeah.
Adam had to vague post, downplaying what happened here. Seeing that Adam is very well connected to the furry community, it can't be a coincidence that this is what he's responding to. And if you still think this is a stretch, Adam was on stream with Mark defending the idea of drawn CP, saying it should be legal.
Should animated child porn be legal? Yes, it should be.
Wait. Okay, so this is... Okay. This isn't even to argue that he's doing it in that way. Okay, cool.
Should animated child porn be legal? Yes, it should be. You shouldn't be able to go to jail for drawing something, even if it's, like, disgusting and people don't agree with it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like...
Like, you can just not look at it if you don't like it. There's no victim to drawing something.
Yeah, I love it when people think that, like, an actual baby's been harmed by drawing one. It's like, what? Are you, like, mental? I know that, like, people get uncomfortable, but, like,
yeah,
that's,
exactly. You shouldn't
no
jail people for being uncomfortable.
This stream clip is currently unlisted. Huh, I wonder why. The only time I've seen this stuff get brought up.
Your name Turkey Tom, but you're not a turkey. Alright, if you really want to pull this off and brand it right, you'd be a fucking turkey.
In mid-2018, Tom made a now lost video covering Digibro, where he made a slight jab against Adam. Adam clapped back with a really angry comment. I love how literally all it took was for me to comment, yup, on one of Digi's videos for you to basically go, hey, did you know that YMS also thinks that jerking it to a cartoon isn't the same as abusing children? He's a fur fag. Therefore, arguments that he supports are wrong. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. He then rants about kiwi farms, calling them out for doxing. However,
Okay. Continued watching this video and got to Kiwi Farms is a website that documents lolcows, but yeah, I'm totally against doxing. But let me be sure to mention this website where you can find his old address. I'm totally against doxing, guys. Kiwi Farms is where... Okay. Right. How old is this fucking video? How long ago was this? Okay.
hilarious. He then rants about kiwi farms, calling them out for doxing. However, I suspect that he's more mad at kiwi farms for documenting a really creepy habit of his. On another stream, Adam would defend bestiality, the sexual attraction to animals. He flat out says that people shouldn't go to jail for having sex with animals, seeing that as some form of bigotry.
If a state has animal abuse laws but not zoophilia bestiality laws, that means that if they have sex with an animal and it is determined that they were abusing the animal, sexually or not, you know, if they raped the animal, if they forced the animal and the animal didn't like it, then they would determine that the animal was being abused. The reason why zoophilia and bestiality laws exist is because people would be in court over having sex with an animal and no one would be able to determine whether or not the animal was actually abused, which I don't think you should go to jail if there's no evidence whatsoever that the animal was being abused. Because if the animal wasn't abused, then you're not really helping anybody. You're just putting somebody in jail because you don't like them, because you think that what they're doing is gross and you don't understand them.
And this isn't the only time Adam has said stuff like this. He has an extensive history of playing devil's advocate for bestiality and zoophilia. He's written multi-paragraph long essays through Reddit and YouTube comments, trying to restate his position when...
Okay, I stand by my controversial opinions. I do not believe that sex with animals should be encouraged, but I'm wholeheartedly against imprisoning those who have had non-abusive sexual relationships with animals. To say there is no such thing is incredibly ignorant and illogical. Objective reasoning matters more to me than emotional gut responses. I don't believe in putting innocent people in jail just because, ooh, gross. If an animal can't consent to a human being, then an animal can't consent to another animal. By that logic, an animal can't consent to literally anything else you do to it. Animals don't consent to be domesticated, having their genitals surgically removed, eating the same food every day forever, etc. If you're against all forms of sexual contact between humans and animals, then we should all rally against farmers, breeders, and any legal forms of sexual contact with animals. The Jackass crew jerking off a horse for comedic effect in Jackass 3. Tom Green did the same thing for Freddy Gets Fingered. Should they be jailed? At least be consistent. Okay. I see the argument that he's making. Obviously, directionally, probably disagree with it, but I guess it would almost be impossible. It would almost be impossible to be able to determine if an animal is being sexually coerced, right? You wouldn't be able to ask it. It's just as hard to get consent from an animal as it is to evaluate if that animal had its consent violated. You know what I mean? And so blanket, yeah, sure. Should probably be illegal.
Whenever anyone makes fun of him for it. It's kind of like the whole leftist meme trend, where you turn everybody away because you included too many words. I won't read all of...
Sure. Okay. I mean, the thing would be, right, if an animal has walked up to somebody, right, and then decided that it wanted to engage with them sexually. The human did nothing to prompt it. The human did nothing to, encourage it. And then it happened, that would be disgusting. But the animal's freely choosing to do that with no input. This is the hypothetical I'm giving. With no input from the human, right? Now, you might say in that instance, the human has been sexually abused by the animal, right? But we obviously don't hold animals to that standard. But it's impossible to tell if somebody's in a sexual relationship with an animal, whether they've got that consent, or if they are actually abusing them. He's arguing in favor of less animal protections than more, yeah.
these for time's sake, but
No means no. What does mean?
Feel free to pause if you want to analyze these walls of text. This clearly became a soft spot to Adam, as he'd get pissed whenever anyone joked about his bestiality defenses. The funniest instance of this is when Adam started an argument with Null, the owner of Kiwi Farms, after he uploaded a video in late 2018 talking about the zoo sadist, Wolf. In that video, he makes the claim that Adam is part of the growing normalization for fucking dogs.
Thank you for linking to the original video in the description so people can see the full argument, but I see why you left out so much of it. I stand by my controversial opinion, so even when he gets called out for this, he stands by it. I do not believe that sex with animals should be encouraged, but I am wholeheartedly against imprisoning those who have had non-abusive sexual relations with animals. To say there is no such thing is incredibly ignorant and illogical. Objective reasoning matters more to me than emotional gut responses. I do not believe putting innocent people in jail because ew, gross. How can an animal provide meaningful consent to a human in the same way that an animal can provide meaningful consent to another animal?
Dude, is this just to plug his fucking stream? Dude, just read it out again in post. Why do we need the fucking stream of you reading it out? Fuck
Most
me.
communications between animals are non-verbal. Have you ever seen the thousands of videos on YouTube and America's Funniest Home Videos where someone falls down and their dog immediately starts humping them? Is the dog not consenting to some form of sexual contact at that point? I get that we live in a world where most people's interactions with animals are only ones that have had their balls surgically removed without their
That's not Rob's stream. That sounds exactly like Rob, no?
consent, of course. But animals with sex drives clearly don't give a shit about what they are fucking and are just doing whatever feels good to them.
Adam typed out one of his
That's Null. That sounds nothing like Null. Okay, never mind. Alright. In the same way that an animal can provide meaningful consent to another animal. I don't know if I don't know if consent is just a thing that even like animals even consider, right? I don't know if consent is even something that goes on in an animal's brain. Yeah.
Give a shit about what they are fucking and are just
Bottom left literally has his link. Oh yeah, good point.
doing whatever feels good to them.
Adam typed out one of his essays saying he isn't actually attracted to animals, and is instead attracted to anthropomorphic lions. He also spends much of this argument claiming he's not
Huh? I mean, what if he's a horse? Okay. Lions. If you can convince me that someone sucking animal's dick is somehow more abusive towards the animal than torturing and murdering it, then my opinion will be changed. If you can convince me that animals are so incapable of agency that every time two animals fuck, they're both technically simultaneously raping each other, then my opinion will change. To suggest that I should abandon my principles and start lying to people because of public pressure, alright.
attracted to anthropomorphic lions. He also spends much of this argument claiming he's not trying to defend bestiality, but is instead arguing against general societal hypocrisies. To him, it's retarded when people feign outrage over fucking dogs, and not horse racing and factory farming.
You go to some of those like Twitter threads of the ones being like, you must never forget that this man said that said that people shouldn't go to jail for having sex with animals, and then they leave out the part where I said, well, only if it's if there's literally no measurable harm or distress placed on the animal, which would make it literally less harmful than the entire farming industry, the entire breeding industry, right? Things that people are already okay with. But no, of course, you don't apply that same logic to people in those industries. You don't go to people who are like farmers or have ever been to like a horse race. So much more abusive than the examples I'm talking about. You don't apply that same level of criticism to them. I think you're full of shit. I think these people are so full of shit.
If this type of argument sounds familiar,
I don't think these people are full of shit. I think they're just going off the gut response. I know what he means though. I can maybe see where he's coming from. Listen, the disagreement I think is at the end of the day gonna come down to kind of the practicality of the moral instruction, right? But it's probably true that he hangs out in a bunch of fucking like degenerate furry circles, and here's like a bunch of degenerate like furry arguments, and that's where he got this stuff from. I don't know. Has he ever said that he has like abused an animal, or ever intimated that he's had sexual contact with an animal? Because that would change my opinion somewhat. But right now, it just seems to be like weird degeneracy.
it's exactly what Vosh does. Vosh has an extensive history of playing devil's advocate for CP and lolicon, arguing that people shouldn't be outraged about it because children are being used to make chocolate and the clothes we're wearing right
No, 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 that's dishonest. That's dishonest. That's not what Vosh's arguments were over. No, Vosh was comparing lolicon to chocolate and slave labor. What? Vosh was comparing child pornography, hard-on, abusive CSAM pornography, to child labor and chocolate, okay? If you're gonna A-log, get it right.
now. Both are using whataboutism to distract people from the fact that they're being apologists for immoral behavior. Null pretty easily defeated Adam's argument by stating, "We eat meat because we need to eat to survive. We inseminate horses and cattle artificially because we are selectively breeding them for some purpose. There is no situation in which a person needs to give a dog a blowjob, and from what I've shown, that is something of biological risk for the human and psychological damage for the animal. By the way,
Rob thinks that's a good takedown. No. We don't need to eat meat. We don't need to eat meat. Why do we eat meat? Let's be real. Why do we eat meat? Why do we eat meat rather than going like full vegan? It's because of preference, right? It's because it's like a better sensation. The texture's better, the taste is better. It's purely a preference, right? It's purely for pleasure. So then that's discounted. We don't need to eat meat at all. What was the other one? What? It might be a health risk for the human. That's not something we'd ever consider like in a moral calculus.
something of biological risk for the human and psychological damage for the animal.
Yeah, but Adam's argument is already going to preclude for that. Fuck, I just tipped my table. Adam's argument is already going to, like, exclude for that, obviously. If Adam is saying, never in the cases where it is abused, right? Never in the cases where it is abusive, then sure. Yeah, that's immoral. So he's already precluding the instances where animals would get, like, psychological harm. So gay's bad? I mean, that's the fucking argument. If a health risk that you take on, a health risk that you acknowledge for an action makes it illegal, then smoking is immoral, drinking is immoral, having vaginal sex is immoral, having anal sex is immoral, swallowing cum is immoral, blowjobs are immoral. Literally, you can just go down every sex act and they all become immoral at that point, right? They all become immoral. Pregnancy becomes immoral. It's just not the best argument. It's a genuine fucking conundrum. It's a genuine fucking conundrum. Ugh, Rob's just so retarded, man. Null responds to it perfectly.
By the way, this conversation would go on for multiple days. To give Null some criticism, he shouldn't have even tried engaging with this guy. Adam is never going to change his position. Null should have just called him a dog fucker and left it at that. And this isn't stuff of the past.
Right.
As recent as a year ago, Adam is still on Reddit arguing about bestiality. It's a repetitive cycle for him. This stuff would resurface from time to time, most notably in spring of 2020, when he defended iDubbbz and Anissa during the OnlyFans controversy. And yes,
No!
these guys are friends. How shocking. People posted memes mocking his bestiality takes, leading Adam to talk about it on stream for over an hour. He blames the discourse still existing on people being terminally online, which is ironic as hell since he's the one constantly talking about it on Reddit.
Like, a lot of these people are just fucking awful. Like, holy shit. Like, go outside or something. Like, the world is not Twitter.
He also expands on his previous whataboutism style arguments by saying it was always about moral consistency and not bestiality, even though he can literally use anything else to demonstrate this.
And then people come out against some guy that, like, sucked an animal penis or something. It's like, okay, you're being a fucking hypocrite. That's stupid. Like, that's my point. It's not about, like, just... It's more about moral consistency than anything else. I think people are fucking stupid.
Earlier in the stream, he chastises people who
Wait, what was Rob's response to that?
Fucking hypocrite. That's stupid.
can literally use anything else to demonstrate about moral consistency and not bestiality, even though he can literally use anything else to demonstrate this.
And then people...
You can literally use anything else to demonstrate this. What? Okay. That is the inconsistency, though. What are you talking about, bro? Yeah, he's not pointing out general inconsistencies. He's pointing out inconsistencies around treatment of animals. You can use anything else to argue this. What are you talking about? I feel like he's heard other people say that. For the example of Vosh, talking about slave labor, chocolate, and then child porn. You can use other examples of that, sure. You can't really use another example for this. I feel like he's heard people say that about when Vosh gives hypotheticals, and then doesn't understand why people say that, right? He just knows when people want to call out weird hypotheticals. You could talk about anything else right now. You could talk about anything else right now. Chud's top guy, I don't know if they've ever spoken, okay? I myself have said, though, that Rob unironically, shamelessly, just like forces as many Chud Logic clips into his fucking videos to try and make sure that Daddy Chud will watch them on stream. I'm a Chud Logic orbiter, and so I can't really say too much bad about that. I mean, okay. Really, I'll be honest, my interest is just every moment that Chud spends watching, talking about somebody else, he's not spending it talking about me, right? I'm very jealous, I'm very protective.
People come out against some guy that, like, sucked an animal penis or something. It's like, okay, you're being a fucking hypocrite. That's stupid. Like, that's my point. It's not about, like, just... It's more about moral consistency than anything else. I think people are fucking stupid.
Earlier in the stream, he chastises people who he claims are morally grandstanding over the topic, adding on that it's immoral to judge someone based on philosophical disagreements.
Like, the entire concept of rallying against me for this position, the entire concept of doing that is to basically say, hey, we are the arbiters of morality. That is clearly immoral, and we all need to band together to reassure ourselves of what morality is. We are moral, he is not. Let's all agree on that. Let's, be angry about it or whatever, right? It's coming from a moral superiority kind of perspective, right? The ultimate irony in that is that I believe it's incredibly immoral to completely write someone off as a person entirely based off of a philosophical disagreement.
Oh my god. That line might actually be palatable to me if he didn't sound like such a fucking F-slur while he was saying it. Literal fucking nerd emoji shit.
Person entirely based off of a philosophical disagreement.
This is how I fear that I sound sometimes. This is how I worry that I sound. Oh my god, bro, this is fucking devious. This is fucking evil. How fucking nerdy this guy sounds.
Like, wait, would that not also constitute these same people applying that to themselves for doing that? Like, there are some people legitimately that think that I shouldn't be able to pursue my passions, that I shouldn't have...
What? Simply for a philosophical disagreement. Simply for a philosophical disagreement, I cannot believe it.
An audience because they disagree with me on a moral philosophical issue.
Oh my god! Oh my lord! Did they even attempt to engage with your hypothetical before they wrote you off? I can't believe it!
Like, that's not moral. That's incredibly immoral.
That is simpleton, ignorant behavior that I would expect from maybe uncivilized folk, but Redditors,
This is one of the most
Okay, this is just getting more and more like Yoda.
insanely retarded things I've ever heard. He's flat out saying that it's bad to judge someone based on their philosophies and their beliefs, as if people can't have harmful stances on certain topics. This take sounds like something coming from a legit neo-Nazi. Oh, you think it's bad I want to exterminate all Jews?
What?
It's like something coming from... As if people can't have harmful stances on certain topics, judge someone based on their philosophies and their... Like something coming from a legit neo-Nazi. Oh, you think it's bad I want to exterminate all Jews? Well, you're the bigoted one, because you're judging me badly as a person for saying that. And when that logic doesn't persuade people,
Dude, this is fucking retarded, bro. This is actually fucking retarded. Listen, okay? I don't know if you actually can morally condemn somebody for the opinions, for the beliefs that you have. Yeah, this is retarded, okay? There is a genuine... Oh my god! Dude, Rob is so fucking retarded, dude.
You sound like a Nazi right now. That sounds like something a neo-Nazi might say.
Okay. How is it immoral to hold a philosophical view? They might be stupid. They might be wrong. They might have not thought it through enough. How is it immoral? They've come to a position through thought, earnest, good faith thought, and they've come to a position that disagrees with you. And that's worthy of condemnation? Huh? They find what they find whatever they find convincing or unconvincing. They can't help that, right? They can't help but rationalize and come to their conclusion. That's what it is. Oh, star-based. Fuck off.
Adam brings up other people who have argued for bestiality, showing confusion as to why those people aren't getting as much shit as him.
Debate Destiny on it? Of course, but it wouldn't be much of a debate because he agrees with me on that. Have you ever seen the clips of him talking about the exact same shit? Of course you haven't, because he's not a furry, so people don't share those around the internet. Like, he has the exact same opinion.
Destiny's got very different opinions. No, Destiny doesn't hold any moral act taken against an animal to be immoral. I don't think you'll want to co-sign onto Destiny's positions.
If people are gonna come at me pretending as if there's anything malicious about my perspective on it, I would say that applies more to Destiny than me, because his response is...
What if it's cynical self-deception? Well, if you're cognizant of the self-deception, then it's immoral, right? If you're not cognizant of the self-deception, then it's an intellectual failure, right? Now, unless you want to tie intellectual failures, being stupid, being moronic, into like a moral failing, I think you can make that argument. But it's like a lot more fucking nuanced than, you sound like a Nazi right now. You sound like Hitler. You sound like Nick Wenders. You sound like one of those people at January 6th. Yeah, you sound like you hate Jews.
Is literally just like, yeah, fuck animals, they're less species, rape them, whatever. I could shoot up a room full of cats and not feel anything about it if I didn't get caught. That's his opinion on it.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I don't know how much of a debate we'd actually have.
Okay.
Huh. I wonder why Destiny's degenerate community is defending his takes on zoophilia. The same community that's currently defending Destiny for having potential CP in his possession.
She's 13 years old now.
Oh, dang it! Well, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone.
Adam claims that people are only going after him because he's a furry, not because he's consistently defending this stuff over the years, and gets mad when he connects.
Well, okay. Destiny's consistently defended this stuff over the years, and he doesn't catch heat for it. And it is because Destiny's not a furry, right? You can have people who give this opinion, give this take, and won't get backlash for it. Like, I think I've maybe been, like, open to his position, or charitable to it, or, like, entertained it at the very least. And, yeah, I don't think I'll get flamed for it, because I'm not a furry. And though I try to be tolerant and accepting, I've made no bones about the fact that I find it a little bit grim. I find it a little bit kind of, like, detestable, you know?
Connect the dots.
There are people that, like, really, really want to believe that I'm a bad person, and so this is as close as they get. You know, I'm not like taking advantage of people. I'm not like abusing anybody. I'm not like being a massive asshole to people or like stealing money or anything. It's literally just, oh, this guy has an opinion on something and I disagree with that opinion. And I'm gonna get very emotional about this person's opinion and try to present it in a way where I can connect the dots and it's no longer just an opinion. No, this is actual abuse from his words, right?
I think connecting the dots can be very valid sometimes. Using Vosh as an example again, not only has he consistently defended CP and Lolly, but he was also found to have LollyCon on his computer. What? And recently, someone leaked DMs showing Vosh sending inappropriate messages to a minor. I think it's fair to connect all those—
Yeah, but nobody could really confirm that, right? Nothing came of that. Nothing came of that at all.
Right?